short. Because I'm sitting on a fucking pillow.
Let's start there. Hi, welcome to the It Couple. I'm Dan St. Germain, a tiny husband of Amazon, Sarah, Joe Alaco, SJ.
Sitting on a pillow. Here.
Wearing a leopard shirt. Our guest today.
A little leopard.
She's hilarious. Known her for a while. Kerryn Feehan, everybody.
Yes.
Hey, guys.
I can't not say that
Wonderful.
like I'm on stage when I introduce a comic on a podcast. I still have to go like, and here he is, Dan Soder. He's in the room with you.
You may know
like,
him
you
from...
psychopath.
Yeah.
I know.
He's your good friend.
How are you doing?
I'm pretty good. Thanks for having me, you guys.
Thanks for making us watch this movie again. It was really fun.
Yeah.
This setup is really sick, you guys.
Well, listen,
Yeah.
It's
we're
like
a grassroots organization.
I like it. No, it's nice to see.
What if like the family who actually lives here came in? What the fuck? Are you guys recording a fucking podcast again?
This
Run,
was
run,
my
Sarah, run.
This was my sunroom.
This was at one time going to be like the office where we'd put a desk and get work done.
And a treadmill, which gets used all the time.
I mean, when you start piling shit on that, no one's
You
using
know,
it. I hang
it's
jeans to dry.
Kind of, yeah. What type of treadmill is that?
Oh, well,
Not that I'm like a treadmill connoisseur.
I need to pay Karen to like scared straight
It's a
scream
Nordic
at
track.
me.
It's a Nordic
start
Oh,
track.
those
working
are
out on this
good.
thing.
Yeah, can you actually train him? No, like
Just
someone
yelling at me,
has
like
to.
just yell at me.
Someone has
You know, like like how they like do that, like you like it here in prison, pussy bitch.
Oh,
like one
it's
of
just
those.
called
you know?
boot camp. Like
Yeah,
you could
boot
just go to
camp.
a boot
Oh,
camp
you fucking
class.
piece of shit.
Well,
Just-
if
that's
that's
what
all
you
you
need.
need, I'm happy to provide.
Yeah, we do that, but I work out.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, that's our normal
I just hold a
relationship.
piece of meat and let you choose
I need to be
after.
told what to do too. Like I don't.
You're
like,
pretty good though. You said like the thing to me that everyone I know who works out says. You're like, it's a lifestyle. And I'm like, oh fuck you. I don't
You
even
want
know.
to punch me in the face?
No, but it's
It
a
was
lifestyle.
you and
'cause
Rocky
you have to
Dale
think about
Davis.
it.
You guys were telling me.
Oh God, that makes me want to kill myself.
What do you do to work out if you don't like instructional?
I like on Sunday yesterday. I took a kettlebell class.
That's fun. And
I
that's
have to
what
start
it's a
doing
list.
something, but
Well, we both do. Okay, so our movie today.
well, I didn't realize I was gonna get depressed before we started. Start thinking about.
I ate 3 donuts on my way over here.
But when you
too.
told
You
us
did.
which ones,
I couldn't believe I fucking took 3 to
I've
the
been eating
face.
only
like,
at night.
You
It's been
have?
bad.
But
Yeah, it's the worst.
what you're doing though is you're doing intermittent fasting, but you're doing it in
No,
the
I'm
worst
not.
hours.
I'm doing it like right before I have one meal before I go to bed.
That's it, and it's a big unhealthy meal, and then you wake up the next day and there's
Yeah, I'm
no
depressed.
food.
That's what it is.
It's hard. I got rejected by a man like within
Yeah.
the last 48 hours, and
Oh
yeah,
my
Was it someone
goodness.
that you had gone
and
out
I
with
didn't
a
even
couple
like
times?
him that much.
Yeah, we never
Were
do.
you guys already
Yeah.
dating?
No,
or-
we went on one date,
Oh.
Right.
but I just don't like getting rejected. It's
Well,
like,
how did he
Yeah.
reject you though?
oh, this
Good
is
thing you
a
didn't choose to
classic.
do something with your living where you're going to get rejected constantly.
When will I build a thicker skin? But this bugged me because it was such a classic. It's I don't know. I think it's a lie. But we went out. First, he invited me for drinks, and then I made it to dinner. I made it to.
Oh, he took you then to a dinner.
He fed me. He found me. He deemed me worth feeding.
Did he have
Yeah.
a reservation already? And
No.
he was,
No,
like,
Grace
waiting it
Papaya
out?
doesn't take reservations.
First of all, it was an authentic New York hot dog cart.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Well enough.
It was in Annie Hall, okay?
But so I graduated to the eater phase, and
Yeah.
then we made out. He walked me to a cab, and we made out before. And then the next morning, he texted me, "Hey, thanks so much for coming out last night." I'm
Yeah.
like, this is 8 in the morning. I'm like, oh, this guy's
Wow.
in. He likes
oh, yeah,
me.
for sure.
And then I don't get a text all day or all night. And then
Yeah.
the following day, in the early evening, I was like, "Hey, what's up? How's so and so talking about his dog?"
Yeah.
Excuse me. He's
Oh,
like,
my goodness.
He deserved that.
Can you believe this woman's still on the market, folks?
he's like, I was like, "Hey, what's up?" He goes, "Oh, I have to be full transparency here. Here's the thing. My ex is back in the picture in 24
Oh,
hours."
fuck off. We've
such
all used the
it's such
ex's
a
back.
lie.
No,
Yeah.
just say,
It's such
yeah.
a lie. Say what it is. You don't like me.
You're married,
You're
something.
That's what I was
Yeah.
going to say. Or you were
He's
dating
married.
2 people and one got serious.
Yeah.
You can always be
Yeah.
honest about
Anyway,
that.
I
Oh,
wish
fuck
you just
him.
dumped a bucket of pig's blood
Here
on my.
it goes, and we're
Oh,
getting
nice
it.
transition. That's how you know someone's been doing the podcast for a bit. Nice old seamless transition. Kerryn,
Kerryn chose
What's the
Carrie.
scariest thing that's happened to you this past week besides getting rejected after going on a hot dog cart date?
I mean, I did get a tampon stuck up me. No.
Well,
For
does
how
that-
many days?
well-
No, that is scary.
no, I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if there was one up there.
Oh,
How many people, like, how much does toxic shock syndrome happen?
it
I don't
happens
know.
more than you think.
Yeah.
Does someone die from it? Like,
Yes.
I think you
Jesus
can.
I mean, I
Christ.
think that back in the 80s and like, well, when
Probably.
was I using tampons? The 90s,
Yeah, I
early
hate
90s.
tampons.
I got my period in 5th grade.
Oh, that's early.
It's
I
really
lied
fucking
about
early.
getting it, and then I got it when I was 14 or 15, 8th grade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a normal age, though. I feel like
I was on
everybody.
the late end of
But
my
now-
friends anyway. My friends were cool.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Their moms
man.
were all whores. Wasn't
Yeah,
it
you know
just
the-
like if your mom was a slut? That's what we
Yeah.
found out. And I was like, Mom was a tramp? Oh, my God. But they showed us that Annie video. I'm very old.
Yeah.
But they showed us like, it was like the behind the scenes of Annie and all the girls got their period.
Oh.
And so I remember all the girls in my class were laughing and they thought it was
Yeah.
so funny. And I was like, shut up. This is real life. Because I had had it all at that point.
yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, I can't tell anyone. So speaking of tampons,
right.
we are now in a shower scene.
Thank you for setting the stage. Like we're in a
How's
public
that?
library.
Cracking
Well,
up.
the first thing we want, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, the opening scene is it's Carrie. She gets her period for the first time in a shower, and all the girls that are in there treat her like shit and start throwing stuff at her.
Tampons?
And do you guys identify more with Carrie or the ones who were throwing? I think you would too. Would be more of the throwing towels at Carrie
Like
in the
plug
corner.
it up or like shove it up her nose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
In her
stop
butt.
crying, you little bitch. How is this your first one? You loser.
It is a haunting scene, and it's just a weird haunting movie that's great. But yeah, she does look like. I mean, she doesn't look like Sissy Spacek in this doesn't look like anybody you've ever seen
Right.
in film before this.
Yeah, she's like possessed. She like really like gets taken over
She
by
really-
the character.
Yeah. She stayed in character.
Well,
Like,
I
she
also
was
love
one
it
of
'cause,
those.
like, I guess in the book she's heavy, you know, but the Hollywood version they're just like, nah, just make her hair wet. you know, like we'll make her hair. Don't worry
Give
about
her
it.
a pair of glasses and some
We don't
overalls
need a
and
old
some
chubber
wet hair.
around.
Right.
We just don't want to do shower scenes. We don't want people throwing up.
Yeah, that's so interesting.
Her husband was the art director on this. And so when they were auditioning it, they already had a Carrie. And then he had her audition. And she wore like a sailor dress that she wore when she was like in 8th grade.
Okay.
And
Oh,
she
that's so
put
creepy.
like greasy pomade to make
Yeah.
the hair look wet and creepy.
How
No
Carrie
makeup.
dresses and how Shelley Duvall in The Shining dress
Yeah.
Yeah.
dress like there was a time in 2008, 2009 Greenpoint where all girls were like
Yes,
dressing like
yes.
that.
I feel
on the
like
L
like
train.
Kirsten Dunst dressed like that for
Yeah.
like half of her career.
And what's
too.
her name with
Raggedy
Heath
Ann.
Ledger's
Michelle
Michelle
Williams.
Williams,
Yeah, there was a
yeah.
lot of that.
Yeah.
In Brooklyn, in Cobble
Greaseball.
Hill.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, man, it's like one of my favorite Stephen King books, and then after that, it's just a simple story. Mm-hmm. You know, the girls who yelled at her get punished.
They get theirs.
One of them gets banned. We get to meet the mom, who's, I mean, apparently the woman who played the mom thought she was doing a comedy, so
Yeah.
she played
Really?
this.
She played
Yeah.
it like she was really trying
She
to
thought it was a comedy.
She's like Amy Poehler in Mean Girls. She's like,
Yeah.
what? Am I not nailing this?
Yeah.
That's
And
been
there's
a while.
times you watch it and you're like, wait a second, like she does like a Peter Sellers type move or something, and
Are
you're
you
like,
pausing for laughs right now?
yeah. Did she just do a point and shoot? But yeah, she lives with this religious zealot mom
Right.
who calls her tits dirty pillows, which is
Well,
what Sarah
to that.
Sarah
It's
also
like-
calls my tits dirty
call
pillows.
his
That's how we fell in love.
That's so romantic.
Yeah, she goes home and you find out the mom's super religious and Carrie asks her, like, why didn't you tell me about this period? Mama, she calls her,
Yeah.
Mama, why didn't you tell me about my period? And so she thinks now Carrie's a witch.
Right.
Because she is bleeding.
Yeah.
And
The devil.
the devil.
Has
Yeah.
has a weird relationship with men.
Is that when
clearly.
she's like, they're all gonna laugh at you?
That-
Is that what she
Yeah.
says?
I always think of the Adam Sandler.
Yeah, I can't.
Oh,
I
God.
forgot about Carrie
They're all laugh at you.
because it is Adam Sandler.
That is-
It's
they're
more
all
Adam
gonna laugh
Sandler.
at you. It is. That's all I think of. I mean, the
Yeah.
pillows.
I would watch
That.
this movie if they remade it with
did.
Adam Sandler as the mom. I would watch that in a heartbeat.
I would
Honestly,
too.
Jack and Jill was one of my favorite Adam Sandler movies. I actually went to see it in a
The
theater.
Duncan thing is so bizarre to watch. Like, anyway, wrong movie, guys.
The what? Okay. Yes. So, okay, we find out now at this point, Carrie can move things.
Yeah, she's fucking with her mind.
Telekinesis,
She's
baby.
It's only when she gets real fucking ramped up, though, you know? It's when she's in those, like, energy spaces of, like, fucking rage, you know? Because she's never had an outlet.
You ever do that, but it's just because you, like, trip?
Yes.
It's like the opposite
Oh
thing.
my
and
God.
something falls. Like, fuck you. And then something
Yeah.
falls and you're just, it's the opposite thing of people being intimidated, being like, oh, I can never take this person seriously ever again.
What do you mean? Like if you hit your
Yeah,
elbow?
like,
and
I'll be
it
like,
hurts?
fuck you. And
Oh,
then,
I'm the worst.
and then like
I'm
a graham
mother-
cracker will fall out of my pocket or
cocksucker.
something.
Yeah. No, I'll, like, stub my toe. I'm like, what sin is this for, my lord?
What sin is this?
How can you do this? I do that, like, when I lose my keys. Like, when I can't find things, I'm like, what? Why have you forsaken me?
The universe is punishing us for some terrible thing.
That level of, like, rage that I think that Carrie gets to, where she can, like, move shit with her mind.
Yeah.
Like, I've been there in the back of a cab before and been like I've had to, like, you know, physically bite my own tongue, or I'm like, I will lash out, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never moved anything with my mind, though.
No, I wish I could.
No, that just means you're Irish. What you just said. You just described being Irish.
Like, literally, like, no outlet, no
You're
therapy.
like, I didn't move anything, but I felt it really hard, and then I bit myself to make it stop.
I know, and maybe I
'Cause
pooped a
pain is-
little.
Yeah, and then I showed him, I showed them, and that's always the end of it. It's like, I don't think you did.
No, that poor cab driver. What
so
did he do?
the whole thing is the Amy Irving, who plays Seuss now, feels really bad because she's part of this, you know,
Mean girl.
So she's gonna get her sexy ass boyfriend,
Take her to prom.
Dreamboat Tommy Ross, or
Tommy.
is he Tommy or is William Katt? I don't know who's who.
No, William Katt is Tommy, and John Travolta in his first feature film is Billy Nolan.
Well,
Billy's a douchebag, though, right?
sucks.
Yeah, yeah.
He's with
And he's
Chris.
the only person who has a southern accent in the town.
Yeah, I don't know. And
Travolta-
they're in Maine.
Yeah.
They're always in Maine. So I don't know what the fuck. But it comes and goes.
Travolta's like, it's either he sounds southern or like he has a learning disability. So we're just gonna.
Which one?
When
man?
did he make Boy in the Bubble after this?
Probably.
I don't know. It's crazy. The most naturally he's been is in Look Who's Talking. You know, the one with the talking babies is the only time I felt like I saw like
Fits
the
into
actual
this world.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's actually once you pass Dianetics, babies start talking to you. But yeah, so she thinks it's going to be this great, which is a psychotic idea. Like, I don't know. I'll ask you guys. You're the ladies, okay? But I would just think that. I mean, how much worse would it be if you found out a guy asked you out because his fucking girlfriend felt bad about making fun of you to set you up? Doesn't that
Does
sound?
Carrie know that though?
She doesn't know that, but doesn't that sound more
inside
patronizing?
Carrie's brain is like, like Carrie's not thinking. There's like layers of, I think, fucked upness. Like, it comes from a place of true narcissism to be like, oh, I can just manifest and manufacture a little connection for this girl for
Right.
one night. You know, like, it's so trivial to her that she can just dole out the affection of her boyfriend. Like, here, you can have, and then
Yeah.
that'll make you feel better.
Right.
Not even taking the like one more step forward to like, what if she found out? What about her
Yeah.
feelings?
Right.
Or like, what if I just went to like a church and met like a church guy?
Right.
He was
Yeah,
like, hey,
just
ask
take
this
her
girl
along.
out. You know, like somebody
Yeah.
that would make more sense.
So
or
there's
whatever.
almost like, I feel like somewhere she knew it was gonna end up hurting her feelings. I think they're all bad people.
Really?
They're actually. What about the teacher
I don't
played
know.
by
In the
Betty
book, she
Buckley?
seems like a good person. She
Sue
just-
Snell?
yeah, she does seem like a good person.
All right, maybe
Yes.
she's
You think she's doing it for a shitty way, like a reason to be like mean to Carrie, and then it's because Chris and
Dude, she's
Billy
just you know what
are
it
the
is?
fucking worst.
She's just like
They're the worst.
she's just a pretty girl who's never had a bad idea. You know, because she's in high
Yeah.
school and she's like the pretty girl. So she's like, of course, this is the great eyes.
That'll work.
Everyone compliments it. Everyone
Yeah.
says I do well. So yeah, let me try to let me get the freak from the woods and see if she could date my boyfriend.
Let's
and
get
One
Nell
night.
over here.
Also, they kiss at the prom. Her Tommy.
Oh, yeah,
and
he's a
Carrie.
dog, man.
Fuck off. And
Yeah.
Sue is there.
Right.
He's a fucking
such a-
dog.
He's a dirty
He also
dog.
like plagiarizes the poem that she thinks is beautiful.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
a real
yeah,
piece
yeah.
of shit. Like I know Travolta like literally kills the pig and puts the
He
blood,
also
which I
smacks
do
her
not.
around a little, right?
He does. He smacks
Yes.
her. I don't love. Okay, so wait, hold on.
Smacks
Maybe
his
Tommy
girlfriend,
is
and then she
worse.
blows him.
Tommy's bad.
No, but while she's blowing him, all you hear her say is, "Oh, oh," and I'm like, you can't really. It's like, "Oh, Billy,
Yeah,
oh,
it should
Billy,"
be,
and I'm like, "Fuck off,
Yeah.
fucking dick in your mouth." Unless she's just stroking.
I just wanted to hear Travolta's sex. So I was like, oh,
You better shape up.
I thought this was Footloose.
hit my grunting. Oh, spicy. That would be. I'd watch that all night.
That'd be great. Yeah, he's not seen enough in this film, if we can, because he's always
He's seen
kinda
enough.
Well, I guess
He's seen enough. I don't think. But anyway, so the whole movie is like she wants to go to this prom. Her mom is like, if you go to the prom, you're gonna go to hell.
You're a real whore.
You're
Yeah.
over
And
here.
she's in a pink dress, but the mom's like, red is for whores, and she's like, it's
Tells a
pink,
story.
Mom. It's like the fucking mom is colorblind.
It's creepy, like talking about like her dad taking her, but then she likes it, and then like it's this really weird fucking like psychosexual like Book of Revelations fucking tangent she goes on.
Yeah.
And then
Moms are the scariest in like horror films.
Yeah.
Like
they really are.
Like
and
Sybil.
all they are
and the
are
dad's
a
the
woman
sweet
who's
one.
been here a while. That's all a mom is. A woman who's been here longer than a girl, and they're the scariest.
No, they're like
true.
fucked up because they like gave birth, but they're fucking like fucked up.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, have you guys seen Sybil? Not to like switch gears. It's
No, I haven't
Oh,
seen
I've
it.
never seen it.
Oh, that's the most awful mom, I think, in any horror movie ever. I'll just tell you one thing,
Yeah.
move on. But she used to do this thing where she would get a catheter and fill her
Oh, come on.
bladder up with water.
Okay.
And then she would tell her to hold her water, like don't pee, and she would tie her to a piano and then play really loud, crazy
Oh,
music.
that would make me pee.
So that she,
Just
and then
the
she, and then
vibration.
when she would like pee, she would like fucking sexually assault her. Anyway, that like
Oh my God.
Sybil, she had like 16 personalities.
Yes.
Sally Field plays it. It's fucking
that's right.
anyway.
Wow.
But yeah, Mom.
That sounds like the setup for an Aristocrats joke. I gotta be honest with you. That's what I felt. The Aristocrats.
be
That was
more.
gonna be the end of that.
Another layer.
So yeah, she goes to this. She goes to the prom. She made her own dress.
Wait,
right?
I'm so sorry. I'm reading Dan's notes, and he wrote, "Is Mrs. Collins trying to groom Carrie at some point?" Is that your notes?
Is that the mom?
No, it's the gym
the
teacher.
gym teacher? Because she
the gym
really
teacher was like a lesbian.
It's a little
Yeah,
too
yeah,
much.
she's a little
right?
touchy.
She was she was really into the
Also, she
social
beats
dynamics.
the shit out of one of the girls.
Right, she
And, like,
punches one.
Smacks.
She just smacks her in the face.
Chris, and tells her she can't go to prom. Who then Chris sets up.
Like
the
they get
big
away with a
one.
lot of corporal punishment because Carrie kills everybody. Like, this would have been a very different movie. It would have just been a documentary about like bad teachers, but then Carrie
Teachers
kills
used to
everybody.
fucking hit kid. My
Yeah.
dad got hit. My mom, the nuns
my
used to
dad
hit
got
him.
hit.
I
My
don't
mom
think
got
it was a
hit.
big deal then.
No, nuns used to
tell
like,
you.
well, they can't have sex. Let them hit the kids.
Yeah, they got to get it out somehow.
Yeah, let him get off some way.
So now she's in her dress. She's at the prom. The teacher comes over, always there, like, oh, you look beautiful. They dance. We see Sue come in. We also see Billy and Chris go underneath the stage and rig up
Because they've got the blood.
the pig blood. And now there's, what is that called?
Chekhov's blood.
Then there's the ballots for prom king and queen.
right,
Were
right.
you ever? Did you guys have prom king and queen?
I was my homecoming king for my sophomore year.
Wow, I was never even nominated for prom court or
I
anything.
was homecoming princess freshman year.
Yes. That means you were a cute freshman.
But then once you got it, you couldn't get it again though. So I
is-
never
that's
got it
bullshit.
again.
Oh, like
Yeah.
everyone had to have a turn.
it's been all downhill.
We never had a.
Smoking we hear like smoking on a
Homecoming
Newport.
princess 2001.
Just starts sounding like Bruce Springsteen. Yeah.
No,
So
but that
this was so
was-
basically basically
I feel like the creepy. Hey.
He's pissed.
this
He
movie
can't believe I'm the only one that wasn't on a prom court. You were homecoming king.
Does the creepy music kind of start pretty early?
Yes.
Like you just like
Yeah.
the ominous music starts like
In the shower. I think, because it's
It
like
might,
this
yeah. It's
weird-
early.
yeah,
It's like-
and then it's.
I feel like it's like something bad is gonna happen at that dance the second the dance starts.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you're just waiting for something bad
Yeah.
to happen.
Yeah.
And I really thought because I had never seen it until recently, that I thought, well, maybe it's like Never Been Kissed. Remember when she goes to the prom
Yeah.
and they
Yeah,
like drop?
yeah.
And I thought that was taken from Carrie. So I was
Yeah.
like, oh, they are all
There
like being
are all
horrible.
these like elements that get repeated in these different like 80s movies.
Well,
like
the
the
thing
make
is,
your
Gross
own
Point
dress
Blank, the
thing.
prom's always a disaster in a movie.
It is.
Because
Yeah.
Gross Point Blank, it's he ends up murdering that guy, and
Yep.
then there's 11 mini
Better
driver
Off
season.
Dead, Pretty in Pink.
Yeah, that-
only the end
Well,
though.
that is a good prom. I
That
That
guess.
was a
Actually
good
was
one
the
though,
best
right?
one. That was
Because
a
the
good
guy
one.
turns out to be good. He's nice to her.
Yeah, he's
yeah,
nice to her at
but
the end.
that was redone. Like originally,
She
was
makes her
supposed to be
dress
with
too.
Ducky.
Her and Carrie
her-
make her own dress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And does the girl she's all
all
that?
that.
Does she
She's
make
all
her own
that.
I don't
dress?
know. She just like takes her overalls and cuts off the straps and like ties a fucking belt around. I hate that movie so much. Sorry.
Just this fucking
Sorry.
piece of
Let me tell
ass
you
who
that.
like puts glasses on. And you're like, gross.
I know
Yeah,
it's the
ew.
silliest premise.
She's
Like
poor.
she's so ugly now. What? Ew! Look at her gross porcelain skin.
Her perfect teeth.
Dude, you know what the thing about this movie is? There's the most beautiful hair in this movie. Like the guys and the
Travolta,
girls.
the wings, like
Yep.
Probably the guys actually more than the.
I think Tommy's hair is
I'm attracted
beautiful.
to Tommy. I'll
Yeah.
just say it.
Oh,
I'm a
I'll
little
say
attracted to Tommy.
the thick hair.
They all look
Nice
the
thick
same.
hair. They do.
Like if you saw two people in this movie, if you saw a high school couple like fucking in the distance, you couldn't tell who's
No,
who.
'cause
They
it's
have the
like
same perm.
The wing, like the Locklear.
Yeah.
freaking
Especially if they're both in
wings.
bell bottoms. And
Yeah,
they're just rubbing.
sure.
You're like,
Yeah.
who's on top?
Yeah.
So now we're at the prom. Did you guys notice there's a band, which I feel like a lot of movies always have because they,
Yeah.
you know, if they have a DJ, it's like, well, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And the band is singing about shooting up a school
Are they?
and like killing
No
everyone.
way.
Yeah, like if you listen to it, you're
That's
like,
so interesting.
what?
Wait,
the
what
fuck?
is this?
Hold
What
on,
movie is
I'm gonna
this?
tell you.
That's so
Carrie,
interesting.
Dan, the movie we're talking
Oh
about.
my god!
You know the
I gotta
first-
start paying attention.
The first.
To my wife.
I think the first female school shooter, looks kind of like Sissy Spacek, or what's her name?
The young girl
Brenda
that did
Casey. Yeah.
Oh, that
Yes.
one. Yeah,
Or
that
Brenda-
her. Yeah.
She did. She was a little redhead.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's still in there, by the way. But she
In
learned how
jail?
to drive. Yeah, she
she
learned how to
still
drive
is.
a.
Well, she was shooting at like kindergartners, right?
Yeah, she's,
Yeah.
Had some, let me tell you, she was a little much.
That was I Hate
right.
Mondays.
Come on.
Come on.
What are the lyrics? You have it?
I thought I had it, but then I think someone got in here, Dan, and fucked around with my
Daniel.
Oh, is it my? Why are you
So-
blaming it on me?
because you went
you
in
went
here
in
and
there.
played around with. Oh, okay. The song playing at the prom mentions the devil blowing up the school. I'm so sorry.
Oh,
there
but
was no
still,
mass
talk about
shootings
some
back then.
foreshadowing. you
well,
know?
yeah, still
Yeah.
pretty rough.
Yeah.
Yep. So
They're not playing, fucking Beach Boys Kokomo. you
no,
know?
but Tommy teaches Carrie how to dance, of course, and then they kiss. What about Sue? And then, they win prom king, prom queen, and everyone's excited. And then the two under the stage.
Do they rig the ballot though, right? Don't they?
They
I
do,
think that's
because
the plan, so they can get her up there.
That one
That's so
friend
sick.
who
They're
even
so
wears
fucked up.
it is. She's wearing a baseball hat. She wears the red baseball hat.
Yeah.
Even at prom, like
Yeah.
her dress.
right. That was her
To this
character.
poor girl.
I'm sporty.
Yeah.
I will stand out in this cast of characters with my red baseball hat.
Yeah,
I
there
bet
she
guys-
is again. And so she rigged the vote, and they win. And then Irving, Sue, sees what's happening, tries to stop it. It happens. And by the way, he got like nothing on him. It was like all
Right.
over. Like you can see it fall
Oh,
on him.
can't you
But
just
then the
see her
next-
eyeballs when
Oh my
that happens?
God.
She's
And
it's
fucking
just
lit,
here
dude.
She's
and
awesome.
here.
She's
so
fucking
fucking
lit.
good.
She kills the guy. She kills everybody.
She kills everybody.
She gets really angry because that's what happens when she gets really mad.
And she shuts all the doors. It's all methodical, right?
Yes.
She's like, dude,
Locks them in.
Some of the deaths are a little questionable. It's like they run out of
Accidental.
ways, so like a basketball hits a guy, or
Yeah.
something like that. You're like, I don't know if he's dead, but whatever.
You seem
might have just-
unconscious.
The fire hose is a little
hose, that
questionable,
went
right?
crazy.
Right.
What was that? It just
went
strangled
loose.
people, or that
Yeah.
was it?
I was spraying people.
Right,
All right, I guess.
And they were flying back and hitting their head. And the teacher dies because the scoreboard, was it? Like
Something
falls on her and
falls, right?
electrocutes her.
Does a mirror fall or glass fall at any point? No.
Yes, she breaks a mirror with
She
the
contracts
mom.
the bleachers, right?
Yeah.
Or they do that on X-Files. I forget which one.
No, I don't think it's here. So
I'm
Carrie
really
goes
paying
home,
attention
man.
to this one, guys.
She finally goes home to wash off the blood. Everybody's dying. The school is on fire. Sue got out.
Yes. That's like such an iconic exit. Her walking with the blood all over her
No,
and
I
the
love
fire
that.
behind
The fire
her.
button, you know,
That's
everybody's
They do
dead.
They do slow-mo.
Yeah.
Very De Palma.
Yeah, people need to meme that more. Like, man, another weekend like behind me.
Yeah.
Or something better.
I
I don't
think-
like Mondays.
Yeah,
Unless
yeah,
they're
yeah.
coming
I
out.
don't know.
All right,
Don't
so
ask
she's
me
home.
to cook. I'm a modern woman.
The only dinner I make are reservations. That's my
Yeah.
absolute favorite. Okay.
Wait, she doesn't go home and kill her mom, does she?
Yeah.
Her mom tries
does.
to kill her first.
Right. Her mom's a fucking bitch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she stabs her in the back, throws her down the stairs.
Yes.
And
I
then
remember,
Carrie,
that's right.
Carrie uses telekinesis to shoot knives at her.
All of them, and she just gets. But
Oh
she's
my
like,
God.
Jesus Christ.
In the book, she just stops her heart. But this one, she does
How
that.
does she stop her heart in the book?
Well, she has telekinesis.
With her
so
mind.
it's
Oh, so
the
she
same
just
thing, with her
does.
mind, yeah.
Ah.
So yeah, then she's like, oh, she wants her back. You know, I miss my mom. Takes her in the closet, which we missed that point. One of the ways that Carrie's been disciplined is she gets thrown in the closet
all
for
the time,
hours,
right.
all the time.
It has to pray.
It
Go
has
in
to
the
pray
closet
and
and
pray.
pray.
Has to pray in the closet. So they go
Solitary
in the closet
confinement.
together, and she basically brings, in the book she brings an entire parking lot onto her, and this one she brings an entire house onto her. So, and then everybody's dead except for Sue, who's got PTSD, and
Who's like sleeping in the dining room for some reason? Like it's her
Oh,
room
yeah,
is
it's weird.
right
Her room is
off
right,
the
right next to the
kitchen.
dining room.
It's like in the dining room. So she goes to Carrie's grave to deliver flowers. She's the last remaining student alive. And all of a sudden, a hand comes up, Carrie's hand, and tries to pull her down. Is that what happens?
Yes, and then she wakes
And then
up,
she
and it
wakes
was a
up.
dream. She's screaming.
But it wasn't a dream. And that was like, we were talking about this before,
That was
but,
also Nightmare on Elm Street,
Elm Street.
Yeah.
Deliverance,
Yeah.
and all that shit.
but you were
No,
saying
not
that
Nightmare on
they.
Elm Street.
No.
Friday the 13th. Friday the
Yes.
13th.
Friday the 13th. And
Freddy Krueger. No?
Yeah, I think. Well, they have but I think with the Freddy one, it was real at the end.
Oh.
Yes.
At the very end of the Freddy one, it's like you debate whether or not it's real.
Right.
Yeah. So Carrie stays in town to haunt everyone from now on. Because this
As
is
she
what
should.
happens when you're mean to people.
This is in Maine, right?
Yes,
This
of
is one
course.
This is Maine.
Of course.
He wrote a lot of stuff about Maine, right?
he
What
ever
was
write anything
Dolores
that's
It's kinda
Claiborne?
creepy,
Was that
man.
Maine? too?
yeah.
Yep.
There's The Shining was Colorado, and then there's
that's true.
the one about JFK is obviously in Texas, but
But he moved from Vermont in The Shining. He was a teacher there.
yeah, he likes the Northeast a lot,
Yeah.
which I will say it's like I guess seasons are scarier.
Yeah,
I don't
winter's
fucking know,
scarier.
man.
Yeah, winter's a
Fall
scary
is real
season.
creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then, okay, well,
We did it.
we did it, guys.
We
We
got
got
through the
through
movie.
Carrie.
Nailed
Can you
it.
tell us this is our fourth? We're almost.
I was gonna
We're
ask.
almost natural, guys.
We're
is
almost
great.
feeling like
we're like that. We just got to stick
humans.
the landing. where we don't go at the end of the part. And this is the end of our plot part.
Dan
Now,
said I set
on to
everything
the next
up.
thing.
Well, I don't fucking do podcasts. I'm not a comedian, and so
Look,
I'm
have you listened to
sitting
my-
here.
I get
I don't
hundreds and
listen
hundreds of
to
listeners.
yours ever, unless you're recording.
I get a little more than that.
I literally listen to Watch What Crappens, and they talk the way we've been talking. So to me,
Yeah.
it's like that's what I.
I feel like
lean
we got a lot
towards.
done, to be
Right, we
honest.
talked
I thought so,
We
man.
touched on a lot of themes.
We did. We talked about our periods.
Themes that repeat in other
Mm-hmm.
horror films.
I love this book. This is
Yeah.
like one of my favorites. I would say almost a lot is my favorite, but this one feels like it's not even him writing it. It feels like, like an Aerosmith does "Dream On," and it just sounds like a different.
It doesn't
singer.
sound like Steven Tyler.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like Steven Tyler. That's what it feels like with this movie.
Because it's almost like a female feeling perspective, and he's
Yeah.
dealing with so many female social like situations.
He kind of does all right in this because he writes women very poorly after this. Not very, like not all of them, but like some of them very poorly.
Dolores Claiborne was
No,
great.
you're right. Misery was great. No, he writes women well.
Yeah.
It's
'cause
black
Sissy
people. He
Spacek, he
has
didn't
trouble.
write.
Yeah, black
sometimes.
people. Yeah, well,
Trouble. He was a little heavy-handed, where he's like, I gotta like
really
with
hammer
this
this
character's got to deal with every bit of racism that's ever
at
happened.
every turn.
God, yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Like,
I always found Stephen King books to just like grab you from like the very beginning,
Yeah.
though. Like the opening scene of this is what the tampon thing, and you're just like in. You're like, holy fuck, what's going on with this bitch?
I just think it's great that he
Crazy bitch.
fucking wrote Cujo in a blackout.
Did he?
Drunken blackout.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's like the drunken text that works out.
Yeah.
You know, it's unbelievable. But it's one of these weird movies too, where it's not like Silence of the Lambs horror, but more thriller. Predator horror, but more of an action movie. And like this is like horror, but it's more like it just feels like a tragedy.
Yeah.
You know, like you're just watching a tragedy.
Whenever
happen.
there's like
Yeah.
religious elements to stuff, I really
Yeah.
find it spooky and like
Yeah.
creepy and like based in a reality.
Did you grow up very religious?
Yeah, we left the Catholic Church because our like we got this new Monsignor who just went on this like anti-homosexuality kick, like the
That's
first
kind of what my
Oh,
dad
God.
lived. Yeah.
sermon, and my parents were like, "We're gonna just start going to the beach on Sundays.
Yeah.
Smart.
This is
Yeah.
stupid."
This is really weird.
But yeah, it was like a lot, and like it's just. I remember like my first communion, and when I first like started going, like churches are creepy. The statues are
creepy.
creepy.
Ritualistic.
And
Yeah.
priests are creepy. Like
Priests
if
are
you
creepy.
think about it, it's you get into a confessional, you're left alone a lot with them.
Yeah.
And
Dude, every
then-
major Abrahamic religion, at the end of it, they all look like wizards. They all
Yeah.
like Muslim, Jewish, Christian, and you're all like the
Right.
top guys all look
Yeah.
like Harry Potter.
Yeah,
So it is spooky.
spooky.
It is. So one little thing about that I read is that Carrie was being shot at, or they were casting this at the same time as Star Wars. So a lot of people auditioned for both at the same time in the room because De Palma and what's his name?
Yeah.
George Lucas were good friends, and I should have brought that up
Sissy
earlier.
Spacek
It doesn't
actually, I don't know if you know
fit.
this.
Right here, but
Chewbacca was the inspiration for Sissy Spacek's bush. In this.
they just needed
Sorry, a
put
long way to get to a
some oil
pussy
on
hair
it.
joke, guys. Sorry.
We'll cut that, right?
No, keep it in. Bring it up top. Highlight it. Make it the
around.
podcast now.
Make it just the bush.
That's interesting, though. They were auditioning for
Yeah,
both.
I think it's funny that like people were, as an actor, I think that would be exciting if you got to audition for those things. No?
Carrie
No, I mean,
Fisher's
all
like,
my
I want to be the mom.
Yeah, please.
Wasted.
All the auditions I remember, like when I did a Tide audition, I did like a Tide callback. I did the first 10. This is like the most humiliating audition I've ever been on. This was the role. It was just a guy who wipes up stains with his beard.
Oh, well, that makes
That's
sense,
like-
actually. I was like, what role in a Tide commercial would you have?
Which I'm like, is this a commercial or is this just some guy's fucking fetish? Like there's just like a bunch of businessmen behind a wall just jerking off to it the whole time. Like,
That's a long mirror.
it's really like, where am I here? That's what I felt like, and I got a call back for it, and I was like, I can't do the callback. This is even beneath me. Actually, Henry Zabrowski, who's on one of our first episodes of this podcast, good buddy of mine. I booked the Super Bowl commercial once, right? And the commercial was I had to dance with a cape to Moves Like Jagger while Howard Stern shot a fire hose at me, and I was big as hell. I fell off. I twisted my ankle. I sang like Moose Jagger. Wasn't exactly high art, but I was so glad I booked it because I needed money, right? And then I ran into Henry Zabrowski, and I was so happy I booked something. And he's like, and I'm like, hey man, how you doing? He goes, I got my agent going to be better auditions. They actually wanted me to come in yesterday for a role of a guy that dances in a cape and gets shot with a fire hose. And I realized like my victory was his bottom,
Your
and I
rose
just like
was his
shut up.
thorn.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, who would do that? Who would do that? Then cut to us watching the Super Bowl together.
Super Bowl commercial. That's all
I
that
think that's a
matters.
big deal. What's the most?
Who can
what's
say
the
that?
biggest thing either of you have ever auditioned for?
I've auditioned for some big movies. And
Oh,
like, big
I've
TV
sent in
shows.
plenty of self-tapes.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, nowadays,
never
I
heard
mean,
that.
yeah.
Like I've run in for a couple things
Yeah.
that I didn't get, but yeah, that
That
are
I-
impressive now.
I sent in for a self-tape for a Marvel movie, and
fuck.
it was like the role. It was like a weird like role within a role because she was running a self-tape studio. But anyway, it was just fucking weird.
Wait, so
I never
you
get
were
anything
playing
now.
a girl doing a self-tape, or the self-tape
She
was
ran the self-tape studio, and someone else was coming in to use her space, but she made it so that she was the reader every time.
Yeah.
and charging you?
Yeah. Well,
Oh.
no. This was the role that I auditioned for. I played her.
Gets
Yeah.
very meta.
It was just
Got
so
it. Yep.
weird. Mm-hmm. Weird shit.
Weird shit, man.
But I never book anything, so that's
No, it's
Well-
hard. I still haven't figured it out.
Because it's only one role. That's the hardest thing. It's like as long as the casting director. Now we're turning this into like a workshop. But like as long as
Just
the casting.
dish it on the biz, folks. What
That's
are
the real
things we
scary
talk about?
part of this fucking.
One of the things we talk about on this show is what would happen to the character afterwards? Because if you do that for any horror movie, you ruin it. You know
Right,
what I mean?
like what now?
There's nothing. But I guess there's only like one girl left, so she's just traumatized for the rest of her life.
yeah.
But Carrie comes back, I'm sure.
Maybe she's over it in
PTSD.
2 weeks.
She's like, I'll find a new
Yeah.
high school.
Yeah, maybe she's like we think it's this haunting thing, but she
so
goes to she's like, oh,
liberated.
college is so much better than high school. I can drink.
I graduated top of my class. I'm the only one left. That's why. Yeah, I'm sure she was fine.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure she was fine, right?
No, and then she's like the girl with the cool story at college.
Yeah.
Actually, that's
yeah.
true.
Because you come in with the tragedy.
yeah.
You know,
How
like,
was your prom? Funny you ask.
Yeah, and they're like, you went to that school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eyeball girl.
Yeah.
I'm stupid.
Okay, so Dan.
That's the show.
Yeah.
Karen, where can we find you?
Dan.
Wow, this is.
I
really
sounded like
fun.
I was angry, like we had
No.
a secret fight, and I was like,
know.
I think that's the podcast now.
Wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
You guys can follow me on Instagram at Kerryn Feehan. Subscribe to my YouTube, also Kerryn Feehan, and yeah, that's it. I'm on the road, but pretty bad about self promotion. So.
Well, you just did it. That was some
Yeah, that's
promotion.
good, right? Okay, thanks.
Do you post
Yeah,
when you do
check
shows
out
on
Karen.
Instagram?
She's really funny,
I
guys.
post.
She's
Yeah.
hilarious
Yeah,
and
I-
beautiful
up.
and smart
And strong.
strong
And strong. And
and an empath.
she's
and
no
my-
everyday woman.
My finger is starting to move more. I'm almost at like a 45% angle. And that's 45 out of 90.
Oh yeah,
so
she's a
that's
cripple. We forgot to tell you this
Yeah.
guy.
I'm
Her
handicapped.
hand's not working. What
smacked
happened? What
her
happened
hand.
again?
nice. I was doing a box jump
That's
and I
right.
punched the box. I fractured it. They put a screw in me. It's just like
Wait,
nobody
if
cares.
You jump over the box. Is that what
yeah,
that
but
is?
I like balled up my hands and got really low because I was trying to show off
so
in
you
front
went
of
like
this
that.
fitness instructor. Yeah, I like kind of punched it on the ascent.
That's the thing about these fitness instructors, man.
They're so hot.
Yeah.
And they're all like drowning in pussy, but they like
Mm-hmm.
give you a little bit of attention and you're like, oh, I'll be the one. I'll be the one
Have
to
you ever hooked
change
up
him.
with your personal trainer?
I've never had like a personal trainer like
Yeah.
that I hired and then hooked up with.
Yeah.
My last serious boyfriend was like a personal trainer. He was a person. He still is a personal trainer. And
That's
then,
like a Jace.
yeah.
A
And
Jace
then
enough.
recently, I did hook up with the guy whose class I broke this in, but I think it was probably a pity fuck because I had like a cast. And I was like,
You fucked him
He's
with the
like-
cast on.
absolutely.
He's like, because you got
You
injured.
had to. Were you on top? Like, how do you?
Oh, yeah, I was.
Is that your angle? You're
was
like,
on
I'm
top.
gonna get laid, but first I've got to get a hamstring tear.
That's the only way you can come.
Yeah.
Who's ready to get injured?
Oh my god, I'm in so much like porn voice, but you're actually in pain. You're like, oh my fucking
I
knees
think I
got
ripped
torn.
my groin.
You're like gross.
Gross. Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
but check it out, guys. And,
Karen, thank you so much
thanks
for
for
coming.
having me.
And
This is
for
great,
our
you
dogs love
guys.
you. Mushu sat in your lap. He hates everybody.
Yeah,
So we
that was
always
a good
think-
litmus test.
Yeah, it is.
Sure doesn't look real to me. You look like
I don't
an
know if he's real.
alien
I
dog.
don't know.
He looks
He
like,
is like a
he
little-
belongs on like Flight of the Navigator.
Oh,
No, he for sure does.
Dan,
right.
love you.
Until then, I love you too. I love what, yeah, what,
That's
I
the
love
only
you.
time
That's
you
all
guys say I love
There's a couple times that sound like the end of our relationship on this podcast. Dan, I love you,
This
but I
is
can't. I
Dan,
can't
I
deal
love
with
you.
this
I'm
anymore.
going back to the city
That
with
weird
you.
fucking Chewbacca pussy bush joke just didn't land, and you explained it for too long. That's what I've been in my head about, guys. Just to let you know what being a
Wait, have you
comedian's
been-
like.
Ugh, yeah, okay. I'm smelly. This shirt stinks. I'm sorry.
All right, well, thank
No,
you.
well, it's
We got
the
burpy and
fabric.
smelly over here. Jesus Christ.
Ladies, here we are.
That's like petite women. We just do whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah, we're like,
Fuck
fucking-
ever. 5'2",
Just
bitch.
Yeah.
Storming through life, queefing on everything inside.
But it's so low to the ground, nobody knows.
Nobody
It's
cares.
just like,
They're like, what is that little ferret?
I've actually seen Sarah levitate because of queefs. It's insane. That's how short Sarah is. All right. Well, we could probably beat that, but let's end on it.
Let's end. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.